Hello, welcome to this final concluding session of Essay Edge Course 2023. Well, 3 months have flown, a few classes, a lot of tests, a lot of evaluation, one-on-one sessions. It has been an incredible journey with a lot of challenges for me as well and a lot of learning experiences. Okay, and we have learned a lot. We started from the scratch, we learned the advanced stuff, okay, in the expertise enhancement classes, and now we are here in the concluding session where I'll be sharing just a last moment few tips for you just to recap everything and to write good essays come September 15th, 2023. Okay, the exam is almost here and you have all worked really hard. You have given your best and beyond actually. Hoping that it all works out. To begin with, one thing I want you guys to remember that everybody who is writing mains has studied very well, worked really hard. Day in and day out, I have met you people and you have given your best. Whatever has been in the past 3 months, it's a lot of hard work that you have put in. But ultimately what will matter is the execution on those 5 days, right? Not just for the essay, even for the GS 1, 2, 3, 4, the language papers and the optional, it is the execution that is going to matter. So focus on the execution part. No matter how good you have prepared, or there will be always some scope for improvement you might have had. If you can execute it on these 5 days, then hopefully you will end up into the final list. Now, many of you might have traveled to your mains centers. Some have gone outside the state, some have gone outside the district for your mains center. So if you have traveling, okay, make sure that you go to this place couple of days before, get settled, and also visit the center once if it is a different city. If it's the same city, if you are well aware of the city, if you are a native of the city, this is not necessary. Remember, you need to take the ID card that has been mentioned in the hall ticket. So ensure that same ID card that has been mentioned in your mains hall ticket, you have to carry along with the hall ticket and do not forget that. So kindly make a checklist of things you can carry. Okay, obviously your pens, okay, your hall ticket, your ID card, right? So you need to carry that. One thing I want you guys to remember that upon reaching the examination hall, the infrastructure varies from center to center, school to school, or college to college. And all of you will deserve a strong, sturdy bench which does not shake or does not have many defects. It is your right to ask for a replacement or an alternative arrangement, and they will do it. They are very friendly. Do not hesitate, especially if you're writing your first mains, and do this before the examination starts. So these are the things that you should keep in mind. Okay, do not forget to check out the center if you're moving from a different place, and please ensure that, okay, you reach there on time, okay, because cutoff time ends before 20 minutes. So you are there at the center at the very least 20 minutes early, okay, and you are entering the examination hall. You don't want last minute stress, hiccups. This is unwanted stress. Now let me focus exclusively on essays. 15th September, that is going to be your essay paper. Now, essay is the first paper, right, which you will attempt in your mains examination. So there will be little bit of butterflies, little bit of nerves, especially if it is your first mains. It is very, very natural. Do not worry about that. What I want you guys to do is try to be as calm as possible. No matter how small the nerves are or how big the anxiety is, the moment you enter your examination hall, you have to leave it behind. Because there is no point going and sitting in the examination hall stressing. Just go there, take a couple of deep breaths and focus. Focus on the paper that has to be given. As soon as you get the booklet, write your proper roll number without making any mistakes. You can remove the detachable booklet. As soon as the booklet is given, count the number of pages prior to 2021. There were 14 pages that were given, where in the first page the 4 questions were printed, and after that you had about 13.5 pages more. From 2021 onwards, only 12 pages have been given per essay. In the first page, half page is for the printing of the questions, and then you will have about roughly 11.5 pages to write 1000 to 1200 words. So one thing that you have to do there is just glance through how many pages are given, because you need to be sure how many pages is given, and based on your handwriting size, big or small, you will know in how many pages you will be able to accommodate 1000 to 1200 words. And you can have a look at the topics, glance all the 8 topics, and you can actually start choosing the topic in this 5 minutes before 9 a.m. which you will write in section A, which you will write in section B. You might not actually start doing the brainstorming part, but yes, you can actually start selecting which topic is more familiar to you. Make use of this 5 minutes effectively, because as we have discussed previously in our essay edge sessions, choosing the topic is of paramount importance, and many people lose out on time in selection of the topics. So ensure that using this 5 minutes provided to you very effectively, the first and the most important task is selection of the topic. And remember, the first criteria for the selection of the topic, to recap here, is your understanding of the topic. You should be 100% certain that the topic that you have chosen, you know what the topic is and you understand the core meaning behind it. Do not choose a complicated topic just for the sake of choosing it. And I have told you, it's better to choose a topic that you are 100% sure than to choose a topic which you are 80% or 70% sure that you know, no matter how appealing that topic may sound. Next, continuing, you have selected the topic. Do the brainstorming very effectively. Do not waste too much time on it. And doing brainstorming is a very important aspect. And to recap, what you have to do in the brainstorming: idea of the introduction, major dimensions, arguments or counter arguments that you will take in the body, unique examples that you can think of on the spot, any, idea of the conclusion, and the draft core argument. And remember, the body dimensions should be structured very properly, which makes a logical and a coherent sense. Because remember, what does UPSC say? Arrange your ideas in an orderly fashion. So structuring matters, and structuring happens during the brainstorming itself, because it's an essay where you write for 1200 words. So without a proper brainstorming structure, you cannot write a well-structured essay. So use the brainstorming to generate the idea of the introduction, major dimensions in the body, any unique examples if any, conclusion, and draft core argument if possible, and also arrange your body, because introduction and conclusion is by and large fixed, but the body part has to be arranged coherently with a proper flow between dimension to dimension. And do not waste more than 15-20 minutes in brainstorming, and start. Keep a watch on time. Do not get lost in any dimension. Be very effective while writing. Keep an upper limit for introduction, keep an upper limit for body, keep an upper limit for conclusion, and finish your first essay sharp at 90 minutes. Do not try and exceed that, no matter how easy or how tough the topic is. Be attentive to the exam, be attentive to the time, and plan your essay. Whatever we have learnt so far, implement that, execute that, because you are capable of doing so. Next thing, ensure that you are staying within the scope of the topic throughout the essay. That is a very basic requirement. Do not go outside the scope of the essay at any cost. Do justice to the topic at any cost, no matter what topic you have chosen. This is the bare minimum requirement. And next thing, as I have been repeating since the past 3 months, write concisely. Do not over elaborate any dimension, any example, because UPSC clearly asks you to write concisely. Also, while writing concisely, it will also help you write more dimensions, more impactfully. Do not beat around the bush for whatsoever purpose. It is not effective, it's not needed. Then write impactful conclusions, right? I have told you, your conclusion should give a sense of completion for the examiner and leave a lasting impression on the mind of the examiner. It's a very important aspect, like the body and the introduction. Ensure that you are giving a proper conclusion to your essay. Do not hurry up and make the conclusion very narrow or very short. Many people struggle doing that. You have worked really hard and you have to write that. And sharp at 90 minutes, try and finish off section A and move to section B. Now, one more thing that you have to keep in mind is some people directly start with section B essay first. You can do that. But the thing is, they may make a rookie mistake where they have selected section B, but they will end up writing section B in section A. Because section B topic seems more strong for them, they'll start with section B. But in that extension or whatever, they will end up writing section B essay in section A. That is not needed. That is very detrimental, almost suicidal for your mains examination. So ensure that these kind of very rookie mistakes, which can cost you a lot, do not happen at any cost. And you have to remember, as soon as you are about to start writing the essay, the first thing you are writing is the question number and the topic that you have chosen. Underline it or put it in the box. Do not forget to write the question number and the topic after selecting the topic among the 4 topics given. Do not play match the following, guess examiner which topic I have written by reading my essay. Do not do that. First thing, after you are done with the brainstorming, when you are about to write, first thing you have to tell question number 1, 2 or 3 or 4 and the topic. In the section B, 5, 6, 7 or 8 and the topic accompanying, underline it or put it in a box, that is your call. But do not forget to write the topic. Section B also, same thing you have to follow. Manage time effectively. If you do not manage time in section A, that may affect your performance in section B. Now, assuming the worst case, let's say something went wrong in section A and you took 5 minutes or 10 minutes extra and you have about 80 minutes or so for your section B. Do not panic because things may go wrong, but it is not the end of the exam there. 80 minutes is more than sufficient to craft a good essay. It's okay if you have exceeded by 5-10 minutes the first essay. Sometimes it happens. So when you have that 80 minutes, be very alert. The brainstorming should be done within 10 to 12 minutes and remaining time should be dedicated to writing. And be very quick in the brainstorming. Do not spend too much time. And at that moment, be attentive that you do not make any major mistakes in section B just because you have overshot your time in section A. You have learned from experience that even if you are crossing the time limit by 5-10 minutes, you can still write a good section B essay. But my suggestion is manage your time well to 90 minutes each so that you can craft 2 beautiful essays. And remember not to repeat any arguments in the essay or examples in the essay. You use same examples for section A and section B, doesn't look good, right? So try and keep your examples as diverse as possible. The more diversity, the more dividends you are going to reap. And let there be a healthy mix of unique examples. And if you cannot think of anything, express the cliches itself very effectively. Also, throughout the essay, whatever you write, whether you are writing an argument, whether you are writing an analysis, whether you are just writing a simple statement or a horizontal dimension or any example, link it to the topic as clearly as possible. Because if there is no link between what you are trying to say and with the topic, or there is no coherence between the topic, then it is not effective. No matter how unique your example is, no matter how unique your statement is, it is not going to be effective. And throughout the essay, maintain a consistent speed. Focus on presentation. Do not hurry it up and sacrifice your handwriting. Try to be as neat as possible. Avoid silly spelling mistakes to the best possible extent, including silly grammatical errors. Avoid scratching, especially in the introduction or first couple of pages. Avoid scratching and ensure that you are maintaining a little bit of space between each paragraph so that it doesn't look too clumsy. Okay, and when you are done with the brainstorming, strike out that brainstorming sheet. The rough sheets that are provided have to be stricken out. Also, keep in mind that you have to use time very effectively. It all comes down to the execution part. So prepare yourself mentally to do that. Before the essay paper on 15th, whatever time you have, few days, use every day 10 to 20 minutes if you can spare while revising for your other GS subjects to brainstorm previous year topics or previous essay edge topics or any topics. Take any topic, set the timer for 10 to 12 minutes and just brainstorm it. You may not write an essay because now that all the tests are done and now it's very close to the exam, you will not write an essay, not needed. At least brainstorm 1 to 2 topics per day. Up until 13th. 14th, you don't have to do that. If you want, you can do it. But up until 13, 1 to 2 topics per day, if you can brainstorm, it is a very good exercise to stay in touch and also to generate diverse dimensions. What should be the introduction? What should be the conclusion? On the eve of the exam on 14th, try to be as calm as possible. You don't have to study much. If you feel like revising something, you can revise something. Your quotes, your examples, anything. If you want to feel like revising, you can. Or if you want to just rest well. Okay. My suggestion is आराम से sleep for 8 hours on 14th, including 15th and 16th. Okay, आराम से sleep for 8 hours. You need to be well rested. You need to be fresh. Now, especially this goes out to the freshers who are writing for the first time mains writer, or even if you are a person who is writing mains again. Remember to go with an open mind for essay. Do not narrow down your focus. What will happen is when you put too much pressure on your brain will not generate either ideas or dimensions or arguments or analysis. It becomes very narrow. The focus gets narrowed. So don't have too much pressure. Don't too much stress on yourself. Take a couple of deep breaths. Let ideas come to you. Let the arguments come to you. Just think on the lines of the topic as calmly, as coolly, as focused as possible. You need to be like MS Dhoni here. Calm under pressure. That's when the ideas come. And that's when the execution happens. Because if you are little jittery, your focus becomes too narrow and ideas may not flow. That will create further pressure on your brain and you may end up writing average or below average essay. Just say that you have practiced enough, you have worked hard enough, and that is sufficient for you to write 2 good essays. So ensure that the ideas are coming to you and without putting too much pressure. Keep it an open mind, be calm, you have the content, you have practiced the skill, you know the skill, and you are going to execute it. So when you have that belief, you can calmly, composedly craft 2 good essays. And on a final note here, many of you have traveled outside your hometown or home state. Please take care of your health. Eat good food, eat warm and healthy food. Because it is going to be a marathon for those first 3 days and then the last 2 days. So health becomes paramount importance. So eat healthy food, eat hot food, eat nutritious food, get good rest, get good sleep. Okay? And do not worry about anything. Right? You have come so far and you have all cleared prelims. That means knowledge is there. Now it's time to execute. And when it comes to execution, be very calm, be very composed and give it your best shot. I wish you all the very best in the upcoming mains and I wish all of you clear, all of you perform very well, and most importantly, just go and give it your best shot that you have, irrespective of how you have prepared. May the force be with you. Thank you.